Hey everyone, Odds here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. I know a lot of you are actually, because our videos have kind of blown up the last week, and we've had tons and tons of new people on the channel, new subs, lots of new comments and everything, and I have been so thankful, so happy to have you guys here. It's been very exciting. I started this channel just for fun, and obviously this is still for fun, but you know, I've always had strategy games and talking about gaming and esports and stuff as a big part of my life. My brother and I grew up on StarCraft, and we've talked about these kinds of things like for 30 years, right? It's been a normal, everyday part of my life. And it's really cool that now we've kind of found a way that I can like share this with you guys. So it's cool that my experiences here and my knowledge and background and all these things, they're kind of coming through here in the channel, and I'm really happy that I can chat with you guys about it and have this dialogue, and we can learn how to play together and improve and all that fun stuff. So very excited, just in general, just flattered by a lot of your comments, so thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's get into the game here. We're up against this player. They were about 21-22, if I remember correctly. And in this game, so there was a patch, right? It just came out, and there was a few changes. There was crawler formations, or a little bit tighter with loose formation. There's some other arc light buffs, I think. But one of the more interesting changes was the high explosive ammo, reducing from 150 to 50. This is a severely underutilized tech, but this is actually a tech that I have been running for about a month now. I think I first saw Cast using it in some of his games, and I wanted to try it out. I wasn't really using AP on the Mustang. I wasn't teching them as much as, you know, I don't really like Mustangs so much to begin with. I think they're not that exciting, but yeah, so I had changed my tech there just for possibility that if you choose a pack that starts with Mustangs, you're not completely screwed right away. And so in this game, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna try Mustang. Like I'm building this out with the intention of using this new tech. I want to actually click this button, because even over the last month, I probably clicked the button, I don't know, a handful of times, right? Not very much. So we want to try it out this time. And I've been playing a lot with Void Eyes recently, right? So in this position, right, with Void Eye as our single target damage, we've been pairing it with stuff like Tarantula, and they do really well together, right? You have the Tarantula doing a Chaff clear, and then your Void Eyes do the single target damage. We've also tried a lot with arc lights, which seems to be working well, and actually I'm glad that we have this update for the arc lights buff, because I've had a few games with Arc Void Eye that seem to be working out pretty well too. Maybe I'll post those later at some point, but for this game and this, for now, like my idea was Mustang. We're going to use Mustang as our Chaff clear. So starting right from round 2, we're going to click this button. So we do get a unit drop here. We have the improved firepower, and the important thing to know about high explosive ammo is it does reduce your attack by 35%. So getting these items is really, really important in order to keep your damage high on the Mustang. The other really important thing is getting attack upgrades. High rate of fire units like the Mustang, they love attack upgrades. It means every single bullet gets extra damage. You know, the rate of fire is quite high here. Attack interval is 0.4 seconds. The attack is only 41. So if you bump that up, it ends up being quite a large percentage over time. More effective than, for example, like Void Eye. Void Eye does do well with the damage upgrade too, but I don't think it's as critical to get it early on, but it does help destroying like giant and titan units. So in general, yeah, I think in this game, you know, getting a level 2 attack enhancement is going to be really strong and going to be something that we need to make sure that we target. And actually, right away, we got these rounds. Another important thing to note is that we have 5,400 HP. Our opponent, they had also 5,000 something HP to start with. The thing with these Mustang packs is they always have tons and tons of health when you start. They're considered like a hyper carry unit, right? So Bear Like has decided that, you know what, no one really wants to pick these units. They kind of suck early on. So we're gonna make sure that the player has a lot of HP so they have time to kind of get that online. And you're kind of like a race against the clock sometimes, I feel, when you're playing against Mustangs, especially like intensive training Mustangs, which is what we've got here. So we've already got a level 3 Mustang on round 3 with HE. So this is looking pretty strong. Yeah, we have hounds. They're like, you know, they're fine. I don't really care for the hounds, so we're probably going to sell out of them. We have been selling out of our buildings starting from round 2. I think in standard round 2 you want to take, you know, the field recovery, start selling out of your buildings, starting on the side where you're, you know, pushing through the most, or maybe where your opponent is not pushing into, since that is not really doing anything. And you can, you know, make that money back the first round, and then the next round you're already making 100 profit, so you're getting up ahead. And with that 100 profit, because we're on round 3 now, we have 100 profit, we can get suppression shot. It's 100 costs, so it gives us an extra tech. It's great. Looks like opponent has gone for range arc light right away on round 3, so that's a really strong tech choice. And if you notice, our crawlers are kind of bunched up with our hounds here, so yeah, we're probably going to need to sell those hounds or do something. We do need to outrange these arc lights, but you know what? Void Eyes are pretty strong against arc lights. Like if you look at this, it's just, you know, I can't kill them in time. The real killer for arc lights is actually that absorption tech, but we don't run it anymore. So, if you run absorption, the arc light will never be able to kill the Void Eye. It's really funny. So one problem that we might have to deal with is that if we're looking at the range here, we have 115 range on our Void Eyes. And if we're going to look at our range on our Mustang, we have 95 range. So if we do get extra range on our Mustangs, it's going to outrange. Sorry, it's going to be, if we get extra range on our Void Eyes, then our Mustangs are going to be shorter range, and they're going to be going in front of our Void Eyes when we're attacking, and therefore the arc lights are going to be able to targeting our Mustangs, which is not very good. So unit drop happens here, and I'm looking at this, and the Phoenix is kind of the same role as the Void Eye, especially when you click aerial, so we don't really need that. You're not going to build Phoenix with Void Eyes. Marksman, there's too much Chaff. Wasp, there's too many Fangs. Stormcaller is kind of the last option available here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick the Stormcaller. It's actually level 3, which is quite strong, and we're going to use it for 1 round, and we're going to see if we can bait our opponent out of doing any kind of response to this. But we are going to put it a little bit farther up and see if we can pop these arc lights. We're going to pop this anti-arc cannon right away, and hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of effectiveness with this, and then next round we can sell out of it and carry on. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, we got Mustangs here. Now we got range on the Mustang, so 135, and we got 115, so there's 20 meter distance difference, which means our Mustangs are going to stay behind our Void Eye, which is quite good. But yeah, like I was saying, if we do get range on the Void Eye, then again, that's 40 range, and that's going to put them 20 meters in front, or sorry, behind the Mustang. So we have to be careful with when we're choosing ranges here, I feel like. So I'm not sure, you know, how effectively this is going to scale into the arc light if our ranges like that are going to be weird. And yeah, I mean, the suppression shot is 15, so there's a possibility that maybe suppression shot is a mistake. Maybe we run a different tech other than that for this comp in particular. But it's 15, and it's, you know what, if both have range and no suppression shot, the Mustang is still going to be kind of getting in front. So maybe it doesn't matter so much. I'm not sure. I'm kind of undecided on how I feel about that right now. We'll have to see how this game goes. Yeah, we're running with this theory, right? We're play testing. We're trying to figure things out. You can't always follow what other people are telling you what to do. You got to experiment and find out on your own. This is how you can discover interesting plays, and you know, you can learn secrets and use them in your own game plan. The benefit of that, you know, if you are the first to figure something out, or you figure something out that no one else really plays against often, and then you have the tactical advantage because your opponent is going to be on the back foot trying to figure out what it is that you are doing. And you'll be able to pop a surprise in there and, yeah, get an advantage. Incendiary is offered. It is round 5, so if we do have a long game, Incendiary is going to come back. Not too expensive, and like being that our opponent has tons of chaff, we're going to be able to just melt them. And so here's like a StarCraft technique that I want to share with you guys. So I think it's effective in this case as well. This is a corner cutting situation. So we have, because we've chosen our fire here and we're going to light everything up, there's so much chaff here and we have a lot of single target. What we really need is some more chaff clear. So I want to build more Mustangs. But is it really the best turn to do this? We would be kind of doubling up on our chaff clear if we're using spells in order to clear chaff this turn, and if we're building a unit that might die to fire anyway. It seems like it's not a good turn to actually do that. So we're going to build these extra void eyes out. We're going to see if we can get some extra levels on these void eyes, because if only the arc lights are left and our void eyes kind of shell the arc lights, we're going to get levels from that. And all the chaff's going to die, so we don't need to, you know, double fill that roll. So we're kind of cutting corners here where it's not safe, right? If the enemy shields this, it's gonna not be as good for us, obviously, but we're taking a little bit of rest. We're cutting the corner and we're seeing if we can gain a benefit from that. Opponent does not shield, lucky for us, and goes for Arclight Elite. Also pointing out here that in order to deal with this Stormcaller that we had here, the opponent actually goes for the Crawler and the Mobile Beacon. So they spent one deploy, $100, and another $100 for that Mobile Beacon in order to deal with that. And we just sold it and got all that money back. So we had no investment, and it worked out really well for us there economically. So we are looking really strong here. We're very ahead economically. We got our range tech, it looks like, on our Void Eye, and the spells popped off, and now we can go back, we can build up our chaff clear and carry on with our game plan. Sledges, Typhoon, Tarantula, Vulcan. So Tarantula, like, I'm trying to avoid them for this, right? We've already chosen our chaff clear. We're going to stick with it and see how that works out. Vulcan, you know, we don't want these things. Typhoon is maybe, I don't know, but I think Sledge is a choice. It's probably the best choice here for us, and we're going to put them in the corners here. The reason we're doing this is we're slowing down all the chaff. So look how many units get pulled here, right? They all come to the side, which means Arclight's going to walk forward. And with our range, our super duper range here on our Void Eyes, we're hopefully going to be able to pop those Arclights before they have support. So that's the plan here. We just want to slow them down in the corners. Looks like this turn the opponent goes for the mountain. And something to notice here, right? And I talked about this in the last video, or a previous video. When your opponent is building fangs in columns like this, all the chaff is like this, it is incredibly obvious. Like, there's little pockets here made perfectly sized for Titan units. So of course there's going to be a mountain. There's no doubt about it. Now I'm not too worried about it because we've got our Void Eyes and we have Charge Shot. Very important in dealing with this. So we do have our single target damage, and now, you know, we're able to build. We got one Mustang down here. We weren't able to get all of it because we had all these deploys that we put in the corners here, and actually it looks like we are going to turn around this mountain right away. So that's cool. Let's see what happens here. The timing of this. They've cleaned up the back here. Now finally we're pushing through. All this chaff is still behind this mountain, and we are popping these arc lights. So timing there looks pretty good. So we can kill them before they kill all of our Mustangs, which is kind of nice. But now we've got this big boy to deal with. How is that going to work? Let's let's look at this real quick here. It looks like, and the Mustangs are doing kind of well doing the chaff clear. It's not bad. I think they do, you know, better against Fangs. They have less HP. But we also don't have very many Mustangs left. Actually, there's only 2. And they are doing pretty well clearing that chaff, to be honest. You saw it hit like 5 of them all at once. But it's pretty good. And no chaff left, finally. It did take a while to get through that, so, you know, we still only have 3 packs of Mustangs, so we gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. And we do need to make sure we get charge shot. Now we see the opponent has played their card. They are going for mountains. That is their game plan here. Actually, they go for the efficient giant, which is kind of scary. Very quickly, we don't even have to think about it. Charge shot right away. Get our levels. Make sure we keep leveling stuff. And it looks like we've got our attack 2 as well. Really important. Especially with dealing with the mountains. So that's going to help our Mustangs clear the chaff faster. And then our Void Eyes kill those mountains more quickly as well. So, okay, here's another real pro tip for you. So I'm thinking about this later on now. So going against mountain, they've chosen the extended range ammo. One counter to mountain, you know, as well as having the charge shot, is of course aerial mode. Mountains don't shoot up. And if the opponent chose to do aerial mode, which it looks like they don't even have that tech, so that's fine, you know, they would have much less DPS. So it's kind of, I would never ever pick those 2 techs at once. But anyways, if we choose aerial mode, what happens is, I mean, look at our board. We don't have very many units besides the Void Eye, right? So there's nothing else on the ground. So what happens is when there's nothing on the ground and the mountain has extended range, it's going to just destroy your tower. It's really, really bad. So even though we want to click this eventually, we can't do this yet. We need to make sure we have enough units on the ground before we can do that. So that's why this turn, you know, we built out our Fangs, and we're going to probably keep building out some chaff. We're going to build the Fangs. We're going to probably build shield on the Fangs, because we want to make sure it takes extra shots or whatever from mountains. We just want to beef up our ground numbers before we commit to the air. Oh, nice. We get that tower. Actually, these mountains are falling pretty quickly. Another tower. Look at that thing. It just kind of melts. It's looking very strong here. Now all these Mustangs are going to be able to clean up this chaff like it's nothing. Like it's butter. Oops. Nice. Cool, cool. Okay, strategy's kind of coming together. This is kind of working out. All right, of these, Wasp probably. We are weak against. Well, no, actually, we're not weak against air. I'm so used to being weak against air because I never run Mustangs, but in this game we do have it. But we choose the Wasps. Sorry, did I say we could go Mustang? Whatever. Yeah, we choose Wasps. Obviously, like air is a weakness of mountains, so we're gonna do that. And then plus, if we are eventually planning on going for aerial mode, we will have some air chaff for us, even though they're level 2. I think that's okay. We could have maybe took something and sold it, but at this point, I think we want like all the deploys we can get. And here we go. We're putting more stuff, more Fangs. There's our Fang shield. More and more Fangs. Preparing for our our aerial strike here. What else? Make sure we get our range and speed. I think now, so we're going into the mountain. We are the aggressor now. So therefore we want to make sure we're getting our speed. We want to collapse in more quickly. We want to have less time that the mountain can just freely shoot at us. We want to close the gap as fast as possible. So that's why we've gone into our tempered speed now. So, I mean, these are still looking pretty alright here, I guess. We're killing everything in the front, and now we're able to get onto these mountains. It's kind of scary, though. They're level 1. You're able to blast through them. Okay, okay. And every time with these Titans, it's like you gotta like hold your breath a bit, because like if you mess up one round, it is kind of all over. Push through this a bit. Looks like we're able to clear this. Are we able to kill this? Yeah, no problem. Excellent. We should be getting levels here. Yeah, nice. Looks like there was a level 5 Void Eye. Nice. All right, acid or EMP. So, yeah, looking at this, like we kind of got away with incendiary sticky already, and we have it up off cooldown this time. Kind of unlikely we're gonna get acid, incendiary, sticky oil, all everything down at once. So we go for the EMP. The worst thing the EMP can do is deal a lot of damage to a shield. The best thing it can do is turn off the text. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then because the opponent knows we have incendiary and oil up, we're actually putting it farther back, expecting maybe shields up here, but intelligently, the opponent does put down the shield in the back here to protect all the rear chaff. So good play. Yeah, all right, we do have our level 2 defense now. Level 5 Mustang, level 5 Void Eye. And what else are we going for here? We're gonna try and get, it looks like we're getting more Mustangs. Yeah, so in this case, I think I was a bit concerned because this crawler, like everything kept on moving up to the middle here, and all of our chaff players way far back. So we're gonna put down some more ground units. We can recruit level 2, so that's good. And hopefully, you know, we'll be able to clear all this stuff faster and get our Void Eyes on better targets more quickly as well. Fire does not quite work out as was expected. Okay, those arc lights go down. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. It now has a gun-launched missile. Actually, oh, it does pretty well, to be honest. So I'm kind of the idea that, so if you look at this with extended range, there's 275 meters of range for the mountain. With the gun-launched missile, 180 meters of range. So it's kind of like a bit of a anti-tech, you know? They don't really synergize together very well here. You can't use this gun-launched missile unless it's close enough, so yeah, I don't know. And what's the range on this? 170? 170, it's 180. So I guess it does range, the same range as the Void Eyes, but we should be taking range. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like saturation of bombardment is a bit better when you take extended range, because the saturation bombardment increases splash range, yeah, sure, but it attacks as part of your attack already, right? So it keeps the range of your basic attack, so it'll have 260 meter range. Do get some levels here. Oh my god. Okay, opponent's going crazy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mountains. You guys ever see this crap? Like, oh my god, there's so many of them. And you see, okay, so this turn, we're dealing with the mountains. Now we are ready. We have enough ground units. We're able to click aerial mode finally. Another thing is we've leveled our towers to level 2. That should prevent, when all of our stuff dies, from the mountains from killing our towers right away. We built out some chaff. We've got a missile here to deal with this right away. And hopefully this is gonna work out for us. We'll have to see here. Round starts. It does take gun launch missile, which is pretty good. It's a chaff working. The chaff player kills those fangs pretty quickly. man, it's that's a lot of mountains. It's hard to tell what's going on here. We do need to kill some of them. Okay, get one, we get two, we get three. Okay, so there's only two left. But okay, even though there's only two left, yeah, they're clearing out all of our ground chaff clear. So we've lost all of our mustangs, and now there are still fangs left. We're gonna tie up our void eyes, so that's not so great. There's a possibility of sort of cheesing it, air cheese, but there's too much stuff. We're not going to be able to survive this. So opponent's going to get around, and it's looking like quite a bit of damage here. Ugh. Ow. But remember, we had 5,400, so it's all right. We have time. All right, so in this case, I always tell you guys, pick redeploy. It's super strong, but it's already round 11, and at this point, like, we don't need to redeploy anything. I mean, maybe we can shuffle around some sledges, but at this point, the problem is not our unit positioning. The problem is like our damage. So we pick advanced offensive tactics. We want to increase our attack again. We've already got maxed out on our level 2 attack, so I consider this our level 3 attack. And yeah, so okay, here's the game plan. Opponent, extended range ammo. If you have mountains level 1 extended range ammo, they don't really do a whole lot of damage. And what we're dying to is, like, we don't have anything that's really tanking. But if we have a tank to absorb all these shots, it's going to make sure that all of our other units are effective. So I'm just kind of mathing this out here, making sure we can get a level 2 mountain, and I want to try to get mountain plating. So with this, yeah, we do have our intensive training, so we don't need to spend 100 to elite. Oh, wait a second, does it math? Yeah, we don't need to spend 100 to elite recruit. We can pay this instead. Save us $100, and that way we can afford the mobile beacon. We're going to push through here. Mobile beacon, make sure, yeah, you do not put that into units, otherwise your unit will not walk forward. So each path is broken up. So we make sure that first path, there's no units in the way, so he's able to walk up and tank for us. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mounts. Holy cow. You lose one round, we are dead. Mountain. Oh, we gotta get the tower. We gotta get the tower. Shoot the tower. Please shoot the tower. Please. Please. Okay, we got the tower. Is it too late, though? Okay. Oh, man. Look how much damage it does, too, eh? Okay, we get that other tower. Nice. Hey, this looks great. This is looking good. Yeah, we still got our mountain alive, too, so that's going to be quite a lot of damage here. Is it going to be enough? And 1,900 damage, or 1,900 health. Looking a little bit shy. I don't think we have enough damage. Yeah. Oh, 56. Yeah, not quite. So we have to do this again. That's terrifying because we've kind of played our card here. We've chosen this is how we're going to try to solve this problem. So now the opponent has a round to try to answer the problem. Looks like they're going to go for melters. Honestly, though, I don't know. Level 1 melters? I don't think that's good enough. This is the same problem that happened with War Factory. If you get a level 2 War Factory and charge in, level 1 melter does not kill it fast enough. I think the same is true for mountains. But we kind of have to play around having a counter here anyway. So I'd like to have, we have so much money, but I think we've got to move this. Maybe we pop it over to the right. We get 2 mountains and we carry on our assault. Yeah, let's try that out. We're going to get 2 mountains. Level 2. Yeah, let's see. It's a bit trickier. Like, there's more of a path forward here, less stuff in the way. There is kind of like this defense wall in the way. But, you know, maybe if we're like all the way on the side, we can kind of go up to here. Yeah, this should work. Other thing important, obviously, you know, make sure you get a shield down. It's going to prevent them from being missiled. I mean, you could use a missile interceptor as well, but shield works fine. Also, yeah, just to prevent them from being slowed down. Round starts. Just trying to light us on fire here. Good thing we moved. Mountains are getting in. We have a lock. But the tower goes down and like it just tickled. That melter just tickled. It didn't really do anything. We're able to push through here. We've lost all of our Mustangs on the left there. Everything is dead other than these void eyes. But these mountains are big. These are big boys. They're gonna crush through everything here, it looks like. The only thing we're worried about, I guess, is melter, but I think this tower is exposed. It's level 2. We're gonna be able to kill that quite easily. Actually, something that's almost here on our tower, but I think it's leveled up. And yeah, this is looking pretty good here. We still actually have some of these wasps, so they're able to tank the melter beam. Nice. And just like that, we're able to push through. It looked like we were gonna have some serious problems here. The opponent has so many mounds. It's actually insane. I don't think I've seen this many mounds on the board, including our own. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're in double-digit mountain range. That's insane. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this many on the board. Yeah. Crazy game here. All right. Yeah. That's the weakness. You know, if you choose extended range ammo, they no longer have the power. And this mountain, if you don't have it, it's just gonna destroy it very quickly and tank everything as well. So we found that opening, we took it, and you know, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, right? Fight mountain with mountain. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I had a lot of fun. Pretty cool to have like all the techs here and trying out this new high explosive ammo. One thing I think I could have tried differently is round 1, since we were training spec, we get that extra $50. It might be possible that in some cases choosing round 1 high explosive ammo could be a thing, maybe. And then you level up the Mustang instead. We leveled up one of our void eyes in the first round, so but yeah, I don't know, it probably doesn't matter that much. Round 1 is not the most important. Yeah, it's cool. I hope you guys try this out. Like, I think now that with the cost reduction, we're going to be seeing it more, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I might have to try to think of something here with the ranges. I think this is the only problem we've got with this comp right now, is we have a difference in range. Void eye 60, Mustang 150, so Mustang gets in front. Actually, hang on a second. So with the range reduction of aerial mode, oh, hey, maybe this is it. Okay, so if we don't have suppression shot and we get aerial mode instead, that would mean, so we 15 range, so that would be 145, and the Mustang would be 150. So hey, you know what? Maybe that's the ticket. Maybe that's what we try here. And the actual range reduction ends up being a benefit for our comp. That's cool. I'm gonna have to try that in a future game. Yeah, cool. I'm excited for that. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you for all of the amazing comments you've been leaving, all the likes and subscribes. I'm so happy to have you here, like I said, and I'm going to keep these videos coming. We have coming up next is going to be the Mechabellum Mini Master Tournament, so I'm going to be uploading a VOD of that soon once that airs, and so you guys can enjoy the amateur players playing it out in the first round of this tournament. And then that'll be coming up again the following week, and then the finals the following week. So 3 weeks of Mechabellum Mini Masters, probably uploading on either Saturday or Sundays. So stay tuned for those. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in and spending some time with me. I'll see you later.